Hey, good people. It is KaCey and Coach Boyd with his Builders Liquidators hat on. Shout out to Chris and Paul. Wanted to come on. As you know, we're trying to keep up with our weekly updates so that you all stay in the know with all things hay. And want to say happy Pi Day. So I remember, okay, so is pi algebra formula or geometry?
Geometry.
Okay, so you can tell what math was like for me because I'm like, it's somewhere in there. So what is pi though? I know I'll put you on the spot, but what is 3.14 mean?
Pie
Like,
is a delicious dessert treat.
or pizza pie?
Yes, it's the relationship uh, of the circumference to the
So,
perimeter of the circle. That's exactly what it is.
see, you knew, even though I put you on the spot. Had you asked me even for a cash prize, I would not have been able to remember that. Now I remember now though, now that he said something, I know that, but oh my gosh, I would not have been able to figure that out. So, all right. So, in addition to now understanding the what'd you say?
The
The
relationship
relationship from the circumference to the center,
to the
from the perimeter.
of the relationship between the circumference and the perimeter,
Okay.
meaning that it takes for every circle it takes exactly 3.14 perimeters to get around that circle.
I don't know what that means, which is why I stay in my wheelhouse and he does STEM. So no clue. But so what we're doing today in observance of Pi Day, while some people may be eating cherry, apple, blueberry,
Sweet potato.
sweet potato pie, we're gonna make pies, pizza pies with the boys tonight. So that is going to be both dinner and a geometry lesson. So we're excited about that.
History as well, because we're
Oh,
gonna dig into seeing exactly who really came up with this pie idea.
mm. So, because I don't know, so I'll be sitting in on the lesson today too. But I got a sneaky suspicion that it goes back to something that we talked about years ago, um, around the whole idea that we don't always understand why Black children in particular um, aren't as excited about STEM, but I think we leave the history out of STEM for them, and not understanding that we do this right in the sense that really the foundation and the basics of science, technology, math, engineering come from everything we did, dating back to the pyramids. And so maybe if we let our children know a little bit more, how they really do come from a long lineage of people that the world owes a huge debt of gratitude towards, honestly, for a whole lot of reasons, right? We're just talking about STEM right here, that maybe we would be more prone to engaging STEM and science and math and all of that if we know that we started this.
Yeah, it's
So
about representation
yeah, it
in many
matters. It
things.
matters. So excited about that. I'm sure we'll take some videos, some pictures of what these pizza pies are gonna look like later today. I can only imagine. But it's gonna be good either way it goes. Second thing I want to talk about is we are on a goal. We have a goal rather on a mission to get 100 people to become monthly donors to Hay. We got another one that signed up and subscribed last night. So we are excited. Thank you. And folks are coming in at all levels. It's really important that you know that you can really support this work in a myriad of ways. Like, and it's not about the dollar amount per se. It's about the heart, the willingness, and knowing that a little adds up. So if it is $2, $5, great. Believe me, we rejoice over that just as much as we do the $100, the $250, the $500 a month that comes in, because it takes a lot to run this program, and folks see that we're able to do a lot with a little. And I've literally had someone use that word. I'm impressed and I'm amazed at how much you all are able to produce with what little you have. And so folks, again, we make it look easy, right? In a sense that we are so committed to these young people, so committed to this work, that we will find a way, whatever that looks like. We will get creative and we will find a way. But it shouldn't have to be that way, right? It shouldn't be that way all the time. And so we're asking for folks to, join us in this mission, to ensure that we are able to meet the needs of our young folks. We are tasked a lot of times with having to prove how we're not duplicitous in what is happening, particularly over here on the West Side. Meaning, like, oh, well, don't you do what so and so does? No, we don't. Like, we are very unique in our approach and how everything we do, from the business training to the mental health stuff we do to the personal mentoring and coaching that we do with young people, a lot of it is rooted in STEM, right? And using the idea of the engineering design process to ask questions, to form a hypothesis, to synthesize, to understand what your resources are, to test those theories, to make an evaluation. And essentially, what you do in that is teach people how to think. And so thinking is necessary in every area of this work that we do. And when you're able to help young people learn how to think more effectively and more critically, then they're able to now conflict resolute. They're able to problem solve better.
That's interesting that you would say that, because in essence, that's exactly what we have to do, is teach these kids how to think. Because public school already, if you go, it teaches you how to not think. It teaches you how to push a button.
Mm-hmm.
And that's even if you go. So if you don't, if you ain't going and ain't even getting that basic lesson, you know what I'm saying, then you are not only behind, but you didn't even come into the stadium for the race. You know what
That's
I'm
a good
saying?
analogy.
So,
Ooh.
so you are still in the bed at home and not even going to attend the race, because you didn't even get those even basic
Yeah.
skills, because you've been out of school before the pandemic even came. And then when the pandemic came, now you're totally disconnected from any sort of kind of traditional type of
Yeah.
training in that way. And these are the formidable years that you need somebody doing that to your brain right
Yeah.
there.
Yeah.
So,
No, I mean, I think even this larger context of, like, what are we solving for? Right? Like, if I answer that question one more time on another grant application, right? Like, I mean, I get it. Like, I get it. But we have to move past the idea of a lot of our programming's just doing good programming, right? Just having a great STEM time, or just, being able to start a new business. For a lot of the young people we serve, we're trying to lessen the effects of poverty. I mean, if we're gonna break it all the way down to, like, the granular level, right? Like, we have these other goals in place of, you know, things that are objective focused. But I mean, at the roots, we serve who we serve because we want them to have a fighting chance. We want them to have an honest chance at life, because their zip code, their neighborhoods, their block, their hood, their zone, all then says, like, it's likely that you're not going to do X, Y, and Z because you live Adams Adamsville, you live in the Bluff, right? You live off Bankhead. And so really what we try to solve for is, how do we lessen the effects of latent poverty? Um, or the latent effects of poverty, rather. So what I also say, and I say this often enough that I want to put it on a t-shirt at this point, is that, being poor is expensive, so doing good costs. So if we get back to the idea of us really soliciting or providing an invitation for you to join us as a monthly donor, it's because poverty does cost. And because we have not been able to get the whole entire funding community to understand that, there are a lot of times where we can't meet the needs of some of our young people because it doesn't fall within the grant requirements. And so when people donate out of their personal funds or their private businesses, um, then what happens is you allow us to do the things that a grant prohibits us from doing, or a grant is explicit in being able to say you can't purchase this or you can't do that. But I mean, we have young people who legit, like, if we don't meet that need, that is a difference of them being able to go to or from school, whether or not they're going to eat, whether or not they're going to bathe,
whether or not they're going to wash their clothes.
Yeah, like, these aren't just things we say to pull at heartstrings. These are very real things that happen daily in the lives of our young people. For instance, I got a text message yesterday, and it was, Miss KaCey, can you send me $2 so that I can pay for my field trip? I'm $2 short. Um, and that being $2 short came from asking a lot of multiple people in his family circle to help contribute to this $40 field trip fee, and did everything he could literally to get down to $2. And of course, it's $2. Whether y'all donate $2 or not, I'm gonna find $2 to give to a child to be able to go to a fundraiser. But I think to a field trip, I think we take for granted that, oh, well, come to this program, and then when the program ends, we send you back home to folks that can meet all these other needs that you have. Because I mean, we have young folks that come to this program that if we don't feed them that day, they're probably not going to eat dinner that night.
The meal that they eat here was their breakfast and lunch. I mean, a lot of times, basically, the meal that they get at our evening programming is the first meal of the day, especially if they didn't go to school. And which is
some of them,
some of them going to school is just going to get that meal.
Basically. Yeah, that's so true, which is why the push for you all to join us in this mission is becoming heavier, because I don't know, for you Game of Thrones fanatics out there, I never watched it, but Lord, all the memes, winter is coming. I don't know what winter means, but I know summer is coming, and I know what that means for helping empower youth and for every other youth serving organization, particularly over here on the West Side. Summer is coming. Now, if you don't know what that means, to have a very offline conversation with me, and I will give you a very offline answer. But what I will say to you here is that if we don't get ahead of the game, and understand that there is a group of young people that is not going to show up to Camp Best Friends. Love Camp Best Friends. We've partnered with Camp Best Friends. When I first got to Atlanta, one of my first summer jobs was at Camp Best Friends. I send a lot of my friends and their families to Camp Best Friends. Our kids ain't Camp Best Friends. And if we don't find very creative ways to keep the young people that we have been charged over interested and excited, the summer gonna look real different, y'all, because everybody outside. Like, we outside this summer, which means there's more opportunity to get involved in things when there isn't any other place to plug into, when folks are already losing their mind over good weather and being outside for the first time in 3 years.
Yeah, it was a rather long winter, and it almost seems like two winters ran together, and people are ready to get out and
busting at the seams
and do something, anything. And we know that idle minds don't do. I'm George Bushing over the sand, but basically, idle minds, that ain't gonna equal no good behavior. So we already know that even our kids who are engaged and who are thoughtful enough to even to know to come to some type of program and to keep themselves out of trouble.
Yeah.
Even they will be tested, because they have friends um that can't even help. We'll just put it that way. There's only so much that we can do in the capacity that we can do, but those other influences are out there.
Yeah.
And it's not even just from kids, it's from adults, from environmental influences and circumstances. So we're fighting a battle, a war actually, that is being fought on a lot of different fronts.
I mean, I know I've shared bits and pieces, but I don't think we really have shared with people the totality of the things that we contend against to really wrap our arms around the young people that are close to us. Like, I mean, when we was really out in them streets with them too, and in a sense we still are, like, people ask all the time, so here's our not so secret in terms of secret sauce, right? Like, how do we do what we do, and how have we been able to do as much as we've been able to do in such a short, and look, let me put this caveat here. It ain't a short period of time. Like, we've been doing this since 2009, right? Like, y'all just now seeing us, but we've been here in these streets. Our not so secret sauce is we build relationship, but we build relationship where they are. Like, we go into their communities. We go into these neighborhoods. Like, I got some friends I love dearly, and their hearts are in the right place. I'd never send them to Allen Temple by themselves at 11:30 p.m. when there are times where I've gone and National Guard is standing at the door, at the gate that don't work, asking me why am I there? What's your business? Where you going? And then I'm arguing with this National Guard member because I'm trying to get to one of my boys. Like, yo, I will take on the whole United States government behind these kids. Like, you're not about to stop me with all your uniform parts on. Like, just don't move me. But I would never tell one of my homegirls, girl, go pick him up for me. Like, that would never happen. Or the amount of times, like, we've had to roll up to like known gang members and be like, yo, this ain't it. I'm gonna need you just go on about your business, right? Like, just go and move down the street, like, try another corner. I mean, those aren't things that we necessarily broadcast often, or and it ain't really all y'all's business either, right? Like, I mean, just if I'm gonna be fully transparent, just going down this rabbit hole that I then tiptoed in, like, everybody in this city should be our friend. And I say that because, like, Coach Boyd and I have really been able to build the kind of relationship with some of these young folks that we are the difference between your head getting bust wide open and them deciding to move on down the street. Like, I don't know nobody else that be able to walk down a particular street over here and knock on a particular door over here, knowing what kind of particular activities are happening. And when they answer the door, it's like, yo, so-and-so, Miss KaCey's here. And they walk right on out, like, so we are very mindful that we're not like a traditional youth serving program. We have structure. They have things and programming that they work on and skills they're developing and tools they're using, because those are skills that are going to carry them through life. But it's that other stuff that we got to shift through first. And a lot of that happens outside of that, like, prescribed programming time. Like, my phone rings all day long, all night long. Random questions. Miss KaCey, I need work boots. Or, Miss KaCey, my mama didn't go to the grocery store. I need to eat today. Or, Miss KaCey, like, or Coach Boyd, can I meet y'all at the Hay House at 9 o'clock at night because I need a Band-Aid? Right? Like,
True story.
true story. And then it's us calling each other like, well, are you out still? Can you slide by the house so they can meet you for a Band-Aid? Like, this child can't even get a Band-Aid. And then what they have grown to know is that we are there for the little and the lot. So the idea that you need a Band-Aid and you don't think to ask the other adults in your house, can somebody run me up to the corner store? Is there a Band-Aid in the house? The first thought you have is, let me call Coach Boyd because I need a Band-Aid. And can somebody meet me at the Hay House? Because I know the Hay House is going to have a Band-Aid. And so I just wanted to share that because I really want y'all to understand like the breadth of what we do. Um,
Yeah, it's wraparound services on another level.
I mean, I don't even know if that's the word we're gonna use because that's what y'all understand. Like if I was having a real conversation, like we raising these kids.
Basically.
Like we are raising these children. And that's not a slight, that's not to say their families aren't doing what they can and
The
doing
best that they can.
right. But I mean, if we think about most of us who have had a decent shot at life, um, we've had those extended members of the family to help raise us. And I look at us like that extended family member because we don't get to say, program is over, going about your business, and then be able to have a piece that my phone, somebody's phone, still isn't going to ring even after programming ended. And that may not be our responsibility, but it's something I think we've accepted fully because we understand that if we don't do it, then who will? And then what happens to those young people who are really trying their best, but then don't have someone to say, keep going, we got you. Here's that extra level of encouragement or incentive or reward. What happens to those who really are trying their best if we were to say, nope, program is over, don't talk to me again until I see you on the next day? So that's why we do what we do. And that's why we need your help. And so, as we're kind of nearing the end of this, trying to be mindful of the time, we really need your support. And so if you can, if you will, I'm going to throw some links up here for you to be able to donate. You can use Zelle transfers and use our programs at helpandempoweryouth.org. Email, you can use PayPal, paypal.me/Hey Atlanta. You can send a Cash App if you want to. You can stop by the house and drop off cash or a check. Or if there's another way that you'd like to support, just hit us up and we will do our best to, get that information to you. But the important part is really just staying connected and knowing that we're here doing the very best that we can, and we want to serve more. And when I say more, it's hard when the phone rings for us to tell someone we don't have room for their child. And I've never said that because it's just not in me to be able to do it. But y'all, like these resources only go so far. And in order for us to be more impactful in terms of the number of young people we serve, that means more bodies in terms of adults, which means payroll for these people. Because you can have the purest hearts and the best intentions, but people need to be paid for what it is that they do. And we have to stop equating because it's a good cause volunteer. Like people need to be compensated. So if we want to serve more people, and we do, more young people, the city at large wants us to be able to serve more young people, and we want to meet that need, then we need more resources. Again, bodies, staff, being able to pay those folks. But then that means more food for these young people, and more toiletries, and more underwear, and socks, and boots, and water usage for showers, and laundry, and MARTA cars, and gas and cars for pickups and drop offs, and all the things that come with it. And so to be able to serve more young people, we need more resources. And so we need you to help us in that. And if you yourself cannot give, tell somebody, like share, like, hey, if you're looking for an awesome place to sow a seed, give a donation, make a contribution, hey, is a great place to start. So if you can't give yourself, ask your friends to do so. Host little mini fundraisers on our behalf. Like you'd be surprised how far $100 go. In terms of the work that we do, we will do a 2 fish and 5 loaves of bread miracle over here, darn near every single day. Believe me, we're gonna figure out how to make it stretch. And so if we get more, we can stretch more.
And just doesn't always have to be money either, even though obviously money and capital is a hard asset that helps, but we are in need of not things that are going to take up space, but things that we can actually use, such as hand tools or food. Today, shout out to Ashley Johnson Alford, who bought us a good deal of food that we cook every Saturday. We barbecue for the community here. So hamburger patties, hot dogs, easy things easy to do. Hamburger patties, hot dogs, of course, the buns that go along with them, hamburger buns, hot dog buns, ketchup in the packs, styrofoam, the plates,
Containers yeah.
that you cover up. We need those as well. So things like that. And laundry detergent. Can always use laundry detergent. The community at large here in Vine City and English Avenue, they come to wash clothes. It's out in the community now.
Oh, it's out.
It's coming to wash clothes. There's a knock on the door every day for somebody coming to try to wash clothes, and our kids wash a lot of clothes too. So laundry detergent will help and go very far as well. So things like that. Tools, laundry detergent, hamburger patties, hot dogs, and buns.
Yeah. And your time too. So for those who would love to come and support, no, let me put this caveat out here.
What?
No, because I know me. Like if you come in to be nosy, stay home.
There are those people, yes.
If you're just coming to be nosy, please stay home. But and I say that with as much love and respect as I can give. The reason I say that is because our young people have been exploited enough, and we're not a museum. We're not the zoo. You're not gonna come and just look and observe and take your little notes and all of that. If you're not coming to impart something good and to really serve, stay home. If you coming to be nosy, then you will get the 2020 version of Miss KaCey. And I'm trying my best to keep her under lock and key because nobody really liked her. Well, the kids loved her because I would cuss an adult out quick on their behalf. But sometimes y'all still need it. However, I'm trying to keep that version of her under lock and key. But if you come because you think this a petting zoo, a museum, you just want to look to be able to run back and tell your little friends about what is or isn't happening, stay home. There's
enough of that already. Just stay in the comment section on the post somewhere. Just stay there.
Which I'm learning how to stop reading because some of y'all just mean. Like there's a difference between being direct and factual and being mean. And some of y'all just mean. And nobody's ever told y'all just mean. Like you just nasty. So stay over there. Don't come over here. And I say that because we've had people who just want to come and see. And like that does not serve our young people. And they know better than you think when somebody is coming out of pure intention and wanting to help. And it doesn't mean that you're going to get it right, or that you know all the things to say to them. But there's a difference between the spirit in which you've shown up in and wanting to help and be supportive and being coachable and being teachable in the space. And then again, coming to check off a box or to come and be nosy. Like we can snuff that out real quick. And I would hate to have to be the one to have that conversation with you. Because for as much as the boys will tease Coach Boyd about his sternness, which they need and they need from him, right? I'm that same way with some of these grown people. Like I'm the last one y'all want when it comes to these young folks because they got enough people treating them poorly, treating them badly for them to come to a place that they feel is trusted and safe. And then we allow someone else to come into this space and do those same things to them. Not here. So again, if you come in because you being nasty and mean and nosy, stay home.
Bitter.
Send a check. Okay, send a check, but stay home. So just wanted to throw that out. But we would love to have everyone else to come in and serve and volunteer and be a part. So just wanted to throw that out there.
If you can cook dinner, come 5 o'clock, 1700 Tuesday through Saturday. If you can cook dinner, 1700 to 1900.
And I'm glad you said that because, again, spring break is coming and summer is coming, which means some of these hours over here are about to get extended. And so not just dinner, then that means breakfast and snacks and lunch and then snacks and then dinner again. Again, this summer is going to be way different. Like we got a pretty much fully renovated space for them. And there's a lot stirring in the pot. But the goal is to make sure that these young people have a great place to drop into and to be during these summer months. So summer is coming. That is my mantra. And I want y'all to know what it is when we say summer is coming. It's like you better get ready. And if you can, make sure that we are ready as well because we outside. We outside.
Every day.
Which means these kids about to be outside. And we want everyone to have a very safe summer. We want us to have a very safe summer. So, all right, that is it. We are 2 minutes past time. But again, stay connected. Get on the newsletter list. Is that what it's called? The subscription list? I don't know what it's called. I can't think. Get on the list, send a donation, tell somebody about us, and we'll see you next time.